All right. Here we go. I've got my. We just finished Blade Runner, so I've got my Blade Runner props.
Nice. How did that campaign go?
Very surprising. The group was really creative, so we ran into some interesting. It'll be fun to see if we continue to the next case file, how some of their choices play out, because there was some unexpected death that was pretty fun.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So.
What kind of? Again, sorry, I've forgotten a little bit, but what kind of characters were in the party?
So it's all Blade Runners. Like everyone is in the Blade Runner unit, and there's just various variations on a theme. So there was an enforcer and a what they call a skimmer. So kind of a guy that just has kind of good big influence on the. He just can grease all the palms and knows everybody. Knows
So he's
everybody.
got the street smarts.
Yes. So
Cool.
yeah, that worked pretty well. And instead of using the pre-gens, we used
They made their own.
Yeah, they made their own characters, and we made a mistake in the character creation that ended up actually creating a really interesting character, because the new Nexus 9 Blade Runners just came out the previous year from the setting of the game. So they came out in like 2036, and it's now 2037. But they're in the police force, and they have all this training and all this knowledge. So they're all supposed to be rookies, but we rolled this one replicant character as a veteran. So he had like 9 years of experience that were all implants. So yeah, it was pretty. It worked out pretty well. It caused this kind of conflict in him that probably wouldn't have existed otherwise. So that was pretty cool.
That is awesome. Sorry, I got a brush in my mouth.
No problem. All right.
Wow. Yeah, I'm kind of gutted that I didn't kind of get a chance to join that campaign.
Yeah, I think it'll be more fun in person.
In person. Yeah. I think you're right. That will be nice. So yeah, I'll try and get in touch with George and see if we can try and do that now that I'm also out of this COVID.
Oh, right.
It seems always something comes along to get in the way of gaming.
Yes.
And doing the hobby. But yeah, I did manage to, obviously being stuck at home, I did a lot of painting, but I also got to play a couple of games of Infinity as well,
nice.
Tabletop Simulator.
Oh, nice.
That was kind of fun because I got to play with a couple of my armies that I haven't actually played with before, and just kind of see how they play on the battlefield, as it were. I got to play my Imperial Service, the Yuching kind of. They're kind of like the Yuching police force, the ones who kind of hunt down all the dissidents and things within the state empire and deal with any kind of authority problems. Okay. And they're kind of interesting. They got a kind of a cool shtick. They kind of just run around with lots of sensors and things. So if you try to hide, they basically dig you out and find you.
Oh, nice.
Now, that didn't really come into play against my opponent because my opponent was running Nomads, and he was running the Corregidor faction, and basically just had a bunch of tags, and I was totally unprepared for fighting tags.
Oh no.
Also, I completely forgot about like the size of certain models and things, and I deployed really poorly. And he basically just started his turn and just picked off almost half of my force.
Oh no.
Within like the first 3 or 4 rounds. But luckily, one of my remotes, the Lu Juan, just blasted the tag off with a Mark 12, which isn't a particularly powerful gun, but did its job and killed the tag. And this one lonely remote ran around basically kind of scoring points for me. And I was actually winning 2-0 after the first turn.
Oh, wow.
Amazingly. It was kind of a bit similar to the mission that we did on
right.
Code 1.
Oh, cool.
where it was like a territory control thing. And I was just lucky enough to be able to squeeze that bit. But then I just didn't have the manpower to continue, and so ended up losing the game.
I see.
But it turned out to be fun. It was like, oh, you basically tabled me from the first turn. Shall we just give up? Nah, let's try and play through, and it kind of, yeah, it turned into a really fun thing that way. So that was good fun. But yeah, it was good. And my second game was against another guy, and it was really good. I was playing the Hak Islam, the Assassin Baram, the and my opponent was Aleph, and they brought a remote with guided missiles. And basically had a hacker, an Azura hacker, basically just run the spotlight program on all of my models that were in range, which puts targeted state on them. And then the guided missiles are basically being fired from cover. Just basically just coming in directly onto my units' heads.
That's brutal.
And just like taking out everybody, and I'm just like, oh god damn it, yeah. But luckily I also had a really good vantage position with my missile launcher and sniper, and I just kind of locked down half of the board, or at least I locked down one of his deployment zones by just kind of like having just the right position to kind of watch over it with a core link team missile launcher and sniper. And so it kind of like we blocked each other off from being able to move much on the board, and it got to the final turn, and it's basically like there was 3 consoles in the center that we got to control. He had controlled one. In the last turn, I managed to run one of my characters up and just take it before they got shot down. And then finally my lieutenant, Bareed Hacker, charged forward, heroically dodging everything that was coming at him to get to the console. Managed to get to the console, and I only had to roll, I think it was under a 14 or under on the D20, and I went and rolled a 20. So in D&D that would have been fantastic.
Yes.
In Infinity, I basically like tripped and smacked my head on the console, knocking myself out. It was a critical failure, and then that was the end of the game. I was like, oh, so close. And so it ended in a draw. But if he had got that, if I had passed that roll, that would have been the game won. It would have been a heroic win as well, all against the odds. But it was still a fantastic end as well. So it was really kind of told a story. I really like how Infinity can do that.
Yeah.
You have these moments where it just tells a great story.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, hello, Squad of 5. Thank you for just popping in to say hello. Are you feeling jet lagged at all? I know you got back late last night. Hope you're doing okay. Yeah. Okay. So I picked up some new paints, along with a couple of brushes as well. I've been wanting to get I really want to get the Artist Opus brushes. But why my music's just stopped? That's weird. I wanted to get the Artist Opus brushes, but they've been out of stock in Volks for like forever.
Oh wow.
So I haven't been able to pick up anything from there, but I decided to pick up the What's happened with your stream? Oh, I need to reload it. I must have dropped for a moment or something like that.
Yeah, I heard you.
Yeah, it looks like I've gone off. I don't know what happened there. I hope I'm okay now. Ooh.
Yeah, you're still coming up.
All right. Oh, good. Glad to hear you're okay. Yeah, I am moving. Good. Just went to check. kind of got like an old phone on the side here to be able to look at the chat without me having to look over this way all the time. But yeah. Okay, yeah, it looks like I'm all running back to normal again. Looks good. Yeah, I decided to try out. I just wanted some new brushes because I just felt like mine are starting to get a bit frayed, and it just takes me a little bit longer to paint sometimes. So I decided to pick up the Volks ones, which are the what are they called? Like a Japanese one. I think it's like Zokemura or something like that. Special brushes. I picked up a nylon one, and I think the other one is actually cat hair.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I think they usually use it for like their Dolphy painting and things.
Right.
All right. Take care, Squad of 5. Thanks for just popping in and saying hello. So it's always good to hear from you. But yeah, I picked up these brushes, and they've kind of got this wood handle, and strangely really comfortable.
Oh, nice.
Really nice to hold, actually. I quite actually like the nylon brush. It's not too bad. The cat, I think it's cat hair I saw on there. This one I was hoping was going to be a little bit like a Kolinsky Sable-esque brush. But I do find it dries really fast. So it's kind of a bother to use in that sense. I'll have to just kind of keep using it and see how it goes. But yeah, it kind of is a bit of a pain. So I'm not too impressed with that one. But the nylon one is actually pretty good for a nylon one.
Oh, that's good.
It's pretty good. And that one's cheaper as well, and so I think that was a worthy buy. I painted the Sphinx's sword with that one.
Oh, okay.
So this was the probably won't see it on the screen for a minute, but this one's the Sphinx with his sword there. I was pretty happy with how he turned out. I was working on him in the stream a little bit earlier. Got him finished. Very happy. He was the last of my Shazvasti. They're all finished.
Nice.
Yes. So I actually have a pretty decently sized army now of Shazvasti. It's pretty big, actually. I'm pretty happy about that. Right. Do I start with just going straight for faces? Do I go straight into faces? I think I might try and go for faces. Question is, okay, I'm just going to pop all my flesh tone, the range of flesh tones onto my palette and play around with all of them. I think that's probably going to be the best option right now. Should have one more. Is that you? Yes, it is. Okay, it's all Citadel ones that I'm using. So I don't know how you do your flesh tones and things, but for general people, I'm using the Citadel ones. So I use like Bugman's Glow, Cadian Flesh Tone, Kislev Flesh, and Flayed One's Flesh. I kind of range with those. I sometimes add a little bit of blue if I want to do a shade, a shadow and things.
Right.
Just to give it a little bit more of that depth. Oh my god, this thing's stuck. It's the cheap dropper bottles that I transferred them all into.
Oh no.
They get a bit gunky.
Yeah.
I don't find the Vallejo ones. I don't find get gunky. They're generally pretty good.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But these cheap ones that I bought and transferred Citadel paints into are pretty nuts. I am painting a Keisotsu from Infinity. There's some that I did a few years ago. It's basically this kind of color scheme that I'm going for. And that's, yeah, I'm going to be working with with these guys. I've got to paint up 4 of them. Well, 3 keisotsus and 1 kenpetai. And then, yeah, we're going to have a go at painting the faces first and getting them done. Okay. So, yeah, thank you for asking that, King Greg, and welcome to the stream. Right.
Come on.
I got my Bugmans. I need my... Did I just put... No, I did. I put the Bugmans away. I am losing my mind. Go. Oh, what's happening with my music? It just suddenly stops. I don't know why. Have I lost my connection again? Am I okay? Should be okay. I can see you going all right.
Mm-hmm.
That's really weird. Don't know why. My music just stops suddenly. Oh, well, I'm just going to go without music. It's not really important, to be honest.
I'm having trouble staying focused here.
What part are you doing now with your model there?
I'm just starting with the flesh. I'm just gonna do. I'm doing mostly contrast. Yeah, contrast paints. So this is the Guillemot
All right.
contrast flesh, and then I'll do highlights. It seems like contrast as a base because it's a little bit unpredictable, and then going back over with highlights with lighter colors works best. So that's what I've been doing. Although my
Okay.
camera will not stay. It won't stay focused. Yeah.
Crikey. I've got a whole cap of paint just dried on the top of this one. Oh, I haven't used this for a while. Okay.
What is it focusing on?
There we go. All right. Right, this is where I pull out the goggles. I don't know, do you ever wear like the magnifying goggles
I've
and
got
things to
like
paint?
4x readers on. Yeah. Just the cheap dollar store versions. But yeah, it helps a lot. And then I've got a lit magnifier too, if I need that.
I see. Yeah, I got the crazy weird ones that hang off your face.
Oh, nice.
And every time my daughter sees me, she's just like, what the hell is on your face?
Right. It's a little bit wider, maybe. Does it need to be so tight? No. I think I need a white.
Got a little bit of cutout there on that audio.
Oh, yeah. Uh-oh.
A little bit. Just realized that I'm also painting outside of shot, which is, stylish.
Yes. I can't stay in focus.
Yeah, I've actually finally managed a position that kind of works for me. I don't quite get the definition that I would love to have with the camera, because basically I have an iPhone set up, but the iPhone has one of the telephoto lenses, and that helps prevent me ever losing focus.
Oh, that's good.
So, and also it means that the camera is right out of my way, so I stop bumping it as well.
Oh, that's, yeah, perfect.
And I kind of have it at a position slightly angled, so the camera's angled towards me rather than away from me, so that when I lean in, my head does not cover the model when I'm filming. So this seems to be the best setup for me.
Nice.
And I found, like, finally getting footage that's, one, all in focus, and two, not blocked. So you saw on the page, I don't know if you saw that on the Patreon, I put up the exclusive
Oh, yeah. I did.
Video, the painting video. It's just basically a straight video of me painting a model, but with all the time stamps in there. So it's like a 2.5 hour video,
Right.
but all of it is in focus, and all of
Nice.
it can be seen. It's like, oh, it's like the first time I've ever been able to manage to do that.
Nice. Yeah, I've got to play. I do too many things with my setup at home now. So I'm constantly moving the camera around and needing it to be able to do different things. So, yeah, not good.
Shut up. Let me see if I can just... How far can I pull this light in before I... before I get it in shot? There we go. That should be good. Finally, I'm getting shadows and I can't see behind his gun. Yeah, I guess I'm not too fussed about this brush. It's all right, I guess. I'm gonna have to. I'll try it for the eyes and I'll see, because it's got a fairly decent point to it. I think I'm just gonna rely on my regular brush for this base coat.
Nice.
Okay, right. Got most of your face done. Let's get the next base coat in. I think once I've got these base coats down, I'm then going to do the eyes. When do you usually do your eyes? Or do you do the eyes?
Often I don't. Yeah, it depends on the model. Of course, if it's unavoidable, if it looks really bizarre. But yeah, usually I haven't had much luck. It usually kind of makes them very wonky. I haven't had found a good technique that works well. So yeah.
I do get wonky eyes, but I challenge myself to do eyes on every model that I do.
Nice.
And Infinity models have pretty small spaces for the eyes.
Yeah, right.
But it's been good practice. I don't mind. I'm going to be a bit rough with this.
Let me play with this.
I'm not too worried. I can always fix that later. I got my hacker here.
Sorry, it's menu time again. That's all.
Did you have some problems?
The focus is really bad. It's just getting the wood grain on the desk, and it's not.
Yeah, it's always a difficulty, isn't it?
So
yeah, I was having a lot of that kind of trouble.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, when I pull it right back and just use the telephoto lens, it's not as defined as I would like, but everything's in focus.
Right.
And so I'm gonna have to just I was like, okay, I'll make that sacrifice for just consistency.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But I don't know. What do you use for your camera?
Oh, I've got it's just a camcorder, a Panasonic camcorder, like a 4K camcorder with the Camlink capture, the HDMI Camlink capture.
Oh, cool.
So it gives me a lot of flexibility. Maybe not great for for doing close up because it's got too much. Yeah, it doesn't have a macro lens or anything, so you can't. It's not intended to shoot flowers or anything. But yeah, I was looking at the digital SLRs, but things are still pretty pricey, and I get better results with this, and this is like half the price of one of those. And then there's a lot of workarounds sometimes you need to do because the digital SLRs sometimes time out. The camcorders will just run forever, and some of the SLRs will time out on you. So you have to do like weird firmware updates or whatever on the older ones to get them to not do that.
Yeah.
So I'd rather not.
Oh, sorry. King Greg. Sorry. Yeah, I did say earlier, but I was also having some technical difficulties, so you may have not heard. Sorry, Jeremy. I'm just gonna answer the question I got come through. I'm working on 4 minis at the moment. The 4 minis that I'm doing are for Infinity, and these are the from the JSA faction, the Japanese Secessionist Army. And these guys are the Keisotsus. This one is a Kenpeitai. So she's kind of like the leader of the squad, and she'll lead them. She's carrying a marksman's rifle. Then I've got a hacker, Keisotsu hacker, heavy machine gun, and a missile launcher. And I'll be aiming to get them painted up in a similar style to this dude here. That's kind of my Japanese secessionist army theme. They're loosely based off of Oda Nobunaga's kind of livery, armor colors, and things. So mostly black with kind of blue and gold trim throughout. That's kind of my basis for my JSA, my Japanese Secessionist Army. Did you watch that Netflix series on like the feudal Japan?
Oh yeah, I did.
Sengoku Jidai.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah. There's a couple of Japanese people I know that said we've never had history presented in an interesting way here, so they were shocked. Shocked how the kind of Western take on historical documentaries go.
Right. And yeah, I mean, it was like it was brutal. You know?
Oh yeah, like, no, definitely.
Like I was like, oh yeah, Nobunaga's like the worst person. Yeah. The guy is just a monster. It was like wow.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I did quite enjoy that show. It made it quite fun to watch and see it from that kind of perspective. Right, I'm going to have a go at these eyes, and I'm going to use this brush, but I'm not confident with it. Not confident with that at all.
There we go. Yeah, I'm just painting some wizards, some old metal wizards. Not old, they're actually new sculpts, but old school looking metal wizards. Thanks for the suggestion, Yum. The zoom in that did it. Well, yeah, kind of better. It's easier. Just keep it in focus. All right.
You're looking for. Sorry, we're going to be talking back and forth to people in their streams. Right. It's going to be interesting. You're looking for alternative minis for 40k. One of the differences between Infinity and 40k is 40k is in heroic scale, and so everyone's kind of built like Schwarzenegger, whereas Infinity's just kind of like regular scale people, so everyone's a bit more flimsy and things like that. They are really, really cool models. So if you're doing if you wanted to go for like a really weird like alternative Imperial Guard, that's going to be pretty cool. But be aware that this will cost a lot of money. These guys are metal, and the good thing is they have fairly consistent prices, unlike the Games Workshop stuff where it's you get like really good deals on squads, and then when you want to buy that one character, you have to pay through the nose for that character. You don't have that with the Infinity models. It's basically like, yeah, this is the size of the model, and this is the amount of metal that is being used, so this is how much we charge. They are really, really cool models. There's lots of really, really cool models in the Infinity range. I recently just painted. I also collect the aliens for this game as well, and so this was the most recent one I painted. This is in this game they have what is the equivalent of, I guess, like a dreadnought. Consistently going up. Yeah, it's kind of the way it goes, I'm afraid, with this hobby. I've kind of been doing this hobby for a while, and so I kind of get used to the hikes in prices and things. That's kind of why one of the reasons I shifted over to different game systems where it's more skirmish based level. I don't need that many models. I still end up buying loads of models because I'm also a completionist, and it's kind of a problem. But I really, really love Infinity. Infinity is like a fantastic game. and it's got some really, really cool models. I really love the aesthetic. It's very kind of anime, a little bit more leaning towards that kind of side of things. The science fiction of it is a lot cleaner than the dark gothic of GW's stuff, but it's a really cool game. I dig it a lot, and the models are really awesome and fun to paint as well. There's so much detail in them. Really, they are the I think the best models on the market in that kind of get away from having to do the plastic. But yeah, they're really awesome. But they're worth checking out just to see the factions and see the models. I mean, if you enjoy painting as well, they are just super fun for painting. If you're okay with having metal models, I know some people are not.
Right.
So if Jeremy, I can tell you how I do my eyes.
Oh, sure.
So I actually start by painting the socket black.
Ah, uh-huh.
That's the first step. Paint the socket black, and then I will take something like close to an ivory.
Mm-hmm.
Usually an ivory, to paint the white of the eye.
Oh, I see.
And I try to aim that inside the black that I painted.
Right.
And then for the actual pupil,
Mm-hmm.
I will just do an up and down stroke where I need the pupil to be, and that kind of targets it more easily for me.
Right.
And then I just clean up around the eye, and it looks pretty good usually.
Well, that's cool.
King Greg, to answer the question, no, they do not come by themselves. Everything comes in parts, usually at least 2 parts that you have to kind of put together. Also, because they're metal, there's a little bit more work involved in kind of cleaning them up and preparing them. If you do want to see a video about that, I do have one on my YouTube channel that I made. It's not the best one, and there's a lot of actually really good advice in the comments of like, oh, why don't you do this? And things. It's like, oh, that's a really good idea. So maybe not even watch the video, just go and have a read of the comments and see what people suggest. And that will give you an idea of how to prepare metal miniatures. But metal minis are a bit of a different beast to plastics. With plastics, you can kind of get away without kind of cleaning them. But when metal miniatures are made, and if you get anything like with resin as well, this is also true with resin, is they'll go into a mold, and when their mold is opened, there's they use a kind of like a powdery substance, I think it is, that basically helps it to just pop out of the mold as easily as possible. And this is kind of called, I think, known as release. And so that will leave kind of, you don't really notice it very much, but there is a bit of an almost like an oil like effect on the model sometimes. So if you then apply paint, the paint just separates off of those areas. And you might be like struggling with painting. You might even be struggling with gluing the thing together as well because of that. So what you have to kind of do is you kind of get some washing up powder. No, washing up powder? What am I talking about? You get some dishwashing liquid and some water, and you just scrub them with a toothbrush. And that kind of just cleans them up, wash them down, dry them off. Once they're dried, then stick the model together. And to help to stick the model together, and this was in the comments of a suggestion that I had, was to score with a knife. Just score the joints that go together, and it just helps the super glue stick it together. Obviously, also, if you do get some metal miniatures and you're used to using plastic miniatures, you don't want to be using the plastic cement. Plastic cement works by melting plastic together. If you stick that on metal, it does nothing. So you need super glue. So you also have to something to be a bit more patient with it sticking together, and because they're heavier pieces as well, that also means that it takes a little bit longer for it to stick. But once it's all stuck together, it's pretty easy to then play around with. And then make sure you always base coat fairly thoroughly, because metal miniatures, it can rub off quite easily. I also suggest after you finish a paint job, as soon as it's done, give it a matte varnish. Some people don't like to do any varnish because it kind of affects the colors sometimes. But to be honest, everything's going to start chipping away, rubbing off from your fingers and things if you don't put that varnish on. It can be quite a pain. So that's my metal miniatures rant. Otherwise, they're completely worth it because they're just when you're playing a game and the model has weight.
Oh yeah.
It's just that makes it just so much more fun. I overdid your eyes. I had it done like perfectly, and I decided to do one more sweep, and then just like botched the whole thing.
Oh no.
But that's why we start with the eyes first. We don't do a beautiful painting job on the face until the eyes are done.
Right. Uh-oh, did I lose your audio?
No, I've just gone quiet.
Oh, okay.
I'm just focusing on trying to paint these eyes.
Sure.
It's the main thing there. That was the struggle there. Just trying to paint eyeballs. Okay, right. I've got that first bit down. So then what I normally do then is I'm going to get some ivory. I'm going to put a touch of the black in there so that it is very slightly greyed. Because eyes are the whites of your eye aren't pure white. They're generally actually a little bit of an off-white. And so if you do white, it makes the eyes look a bit odd. So having something which has got a little... So I'm actually going to be using Vallejo Ivory. Ivory is probably my most used paint of my painting range. It's a fantastic paint. I think it may start to get overtaken by Ice Yellow now that I've got Ice Yellow. Oh my god. I'm finding like my thing these days of my kick with painting is painting with contrast. I'm learning to paint with greater and greater contrast in my models so that they just pop a lot more, and I'm finding that so much fun and so rewarding when I've done it. So I think I got some examples here. I can just show off some of my aliens. So when I first started collecting the Shazvasti for Infinity, this is like one of the lieutenant options, the mentor. And so I was pretty proud of the paint job that I did at the time. It was pretty good. But then recently I've done another mentor, and just the colors are there's a greater deal of contrast in the model, and so I'm just a bit more proud of how this guy turned out. Things just pop a lot more on him, and you can kind of see details a bit better. So that's my kick at the moment, is just kind of building those contrasts in the model, looking for how I can kind of keep them in there. But yeah, that's kind of my thing at the moment. I've been stuck in my room for a long time because of COVID. I managed to actually get it finally. And so, yeah. I've been having some time to experiment with painting a lot. It's been good. The COVID hasn't been good, but the painting has. The painting's been great. Into ultra concentration mode now. We do a little. It's a bit too grey. I need to go a little bit lighter. But also the advantage of mixing in a little bit of black into whatever is close to your white is that whites are often have very poor coverage and can be kind of difficult to use. Whereas anything that has a little bit of another color in it will tend to improve its properties. So, taking ivory, for example, ivory is going to have a better coverage than pure white, generally. And then mixing in even a teeny tiny bit of black in there as well makes its coverage and kind of its control much, much easier, I find. So that helps me with painting the eyes. And I say this as I'm going to probably just screw up these eyes and have the most derpy guys ever. Oh, this guy's eyes are very, very deep in his head. There we go. So you probably can't see it very well, to be honest, with this camera at the moment and the size of this model. No, you can't really see it very well, I don't think. Even because when I get up close, it's just out of focus. Oh, but yeah, it's okay. It's not bad. Not bad. I've done okay. They actually kind of right now, because I haven't painted the pupils on, they look like what's it? The Umbrella Academy.
Oh yeah.
You know, where they have those the black mask with the white eyes.
Yeah, yeah.
It kind of looks like that at the moment.
Nice.
And how is your wonderful wizard coming along?
Good, good. Yeah, I'm just doing some basic, just the flat colors. It took a minute to figure out how I wanted to kind of contrast them, but yeah. And some of these contrast paints, when they go on, the color is a little disappointing, but yeah, the pigment separates and you get like some nice variation and stuff. Of course, the flesh is a little splotchy, but I was kind of expecting that. But yeah, he's all right.
Oh, that's cool. I've not tried any contrast paints.
Yeah, they're an odd little thing, and they just kind of reformulated a lot of colors, and they're doing almost these fluorescent bright colors now. I saw some people painting some orcs, and they looked like 70s blacklight posters. They looked really insanely bright. Yeah, so I'm not sure what they're thinking with that. It's an interesting aesthetic, but it's not exactly grim dark. So I don't know what they're doing with these new paints. They're super bright. I guess they could do crazy pigment, so they did. But yeah, contrast is interesting, especially. It is really nice for leather effects and things. One of the best, snakebite leather is one of the best contrast paints, and with all the leather strapping and stuff that some fantasy models have, it looks really, really nice. Gives you a really nice effect right away. You can still put highlights and weathering and stuff on it, but it just is leather immediately, just with a single application. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
That's handy. Yeah, I kind of refusing to get any.
Yeah, well, they're
not that it's cheating, because I think there is actually some really, really clever ways that you can use them.
Yeah.
To make really, really good paint jobs. I saw I think it's Squidmar loves them for running through the airbrush.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
and he swears by it. It's like a great consistency for it, and it creates a really great effect. So I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Mm-hmm. But I think it was actually Squad of Five was one who told me about making his own contrast paints using the Liquitex inks.
Right, right.
Like Liquitex inks mixed with matte medium. Just kind of change up the consistency a little bit, and it works just like a contrast paint. So I was like, oh, maybe I could try that and see if that kind of works for me.
Yeah, it'll definitely save you some bucks. These things are ridiculously expensive.
Right, that's the thing. I'm very adverse to buying. Basically, I'm averse to buying the GW paint. One, because it's in a bloody pot.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it's just so expensive. Okay, I think I got this guy's eyes okay. I don't think you can see it on the stream very well. Yeah, I'd have to change up my camera for close-up shots and things. Maybe I could actually set up my other camera, my other iPhone as kind of like a close-ups camera. I could probably set it up. I could probably set it up as like a camera that's like looking at my wet palette more. So you could actually kind of see the wet palette, and then every so often, if I want to really just show a close-up, I just stick it under there and kind of show a little bit that way.
That's a good idea.
Whilst the camera that I have up here is good for consistent focus shots.
Right, right.
But okay, right. One set of eyeballs down. This is like the most stressful way to do eyeballs. It's like just do 4 all at the same time. Or 8. Just like getting the black down to the right consistency to be able to do it as well. If it's on too thick, it dries too fast. If it's too thin, it acts like a wash. I feel I need to do a larger white on this guy's eyes. Aren't quite. It kind of worked, I guess. Too much white. Crazy doing this. Don't know why I do this to myself. I really don't. This guy's looking down anyway. You're never going to look at his eyes.
Right, right.
But it's sometimes surprising. Like I can kind of, as long as the eye is looking in the right direction, and always clean up around it later. Oh, it's not a great one, this one. Yeah, he's got wonky eyes. But he's looking down, so I'm going to say that he's okay. These other ones, though, they're more got their head held higher, so I've got to be careful with these ones. But it also means it's easier to paint them. He's not hiding. okay, I got the positions right. I overshot with the stroke, but that's okay, because when you overshoot with a stroke, you just clean that up afterwards when you're doing the skin.
Oh, cool.
The only thing is, it's because it's black, you've got to be a bit careful to make sure you do actually cover it.
Right.
Sometimes it dries and shows through. It looks inconsistent then. I had an idea for a video. Just because I got so many models that I'm not going to use. Certainly like really old Warhammer models.
Oh, uh-huh.
So, like proper old Hammer. Lots of old school Necromunda and really old metal 40k models. And so what I was wondering about doing was perhaps as a video, it's kind of like just a fun video to do. I might not make anything out of it, and that's fine. And just kind of a curiosity thing more than anything would be to paint up two fairly equivalent models. Maybe so, for example, like a Vansar Heavy and a Goliath Heavy from Necromunda. Paint them up to an equivalent standard. Take some nice photos of them, and then just put them on eBay for like 50 cents. And just let them auction for a week. And it's kind of like a versus battle. Which one will sell for the most? And kind of like the video like sees their progress throughout the week kind of thing, to see like how many people are watching, how many people are bidding and things.
Oh, nice.
And like, so even if it completely falls on its face and I sell it for like 75 cents, at least I got a video out of it, you know. And I'm kind of getting rid of some of my old stuff. So it's just like clearing out some of the space that I need to make, especially with Tag Raid coming.
Oh, right.
So just kind of like to clear out some of my old things. The other thing as well was I was thinking if I get to just 10 people on my Patreon, because that will get me at least basically $30 a month. The way that I see that is that covers shipping for sending out a model. And so perhaps once a month, just do a lottery with the Patreons. And they get a painted up model, like an old Hammer painted up model, just like a random one that I'm going to do.
Yeah.
So I kind of paint it up for a video and then send it off to a Patreon.
That's cool.
So, but that would, for me to do that, then I need, I think, at least 10 Patreons. So that would be something that I'm thinking about. So we'll just see how things go. If people take an interest in my stuff.
No, that's cool. It's a good idea.
But yeah, I think it would be just kind of like a fun thing to do. I think I've done all your eyes. Did I do all your eyes? I did all your eyes. I think the first one I did was the best. The way it goes. Yeah, he doesn't even need a cleanup. That's great. Okay, I'm going to start putting in my first highlights for the skin, I think. And then see where I need to put the shadow. And now I'm pretty bad at placing my highlights for skin. I find it a little bit challenging. And sometimes I found actually putting over a shade first and then doing it is pretty good way of approaching the skin tones. But as much as possible, I'm trying to challenge myself to avoid using shades. I do think they're useful for some things, some areas, but where I can avoid using them and work more on layering and blending,
right.
it's better for improvement of my painting skills.
Oh yeah, yeah. Shades are
If
the
I can.
yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, shades are the concealer of all sins. They make
Right, you can kind of get away with a lot of stuff doing
yeah.
them.
Yes.
Oh, but they're still useful for some things. I use them for my Shasvasti skin.
Ah.
They just made a really nice effect, and it was quick as well. And I'd put the shade over, and then I'd re-highlight with the same base coat, and then go a little bit higher with the yellow.
Nice.
And that worked out nice for my Shasvasti. Right. So I've done some Cadian. Let's try some Kislev. Let's see how high we're going to go with this. And then I'm probably going to mix in a little bit of blue into Bugman's just to give some shaded areas. I think I was watching, maybe it was Miniac today, because he was doing a video on painting the same model, but he'd spend 10 hours on the first time. Then he'd do it again with just 1 hour, and then I think he did the last one in 10 minutes.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Just to kind of see how it challenges him. Just to kind of see how it challenges him with what kind of corners he has to cut when he's doing it in a very short period of time, and
Right.
compared to when he's got all the time in the world. All right, I'm going to go all the way up to Flayed One Flesh. I'm going to see if this is just maybe too much. His face is just going to be like, what happened to you?
Oh, sorry. BS Gaming, thanks for the follow. BS Gaming.
Oh yes, BS Gaming and Hobby. Thank you very much for the follow. Yay!
Nice.
Yeah, I get. I added on a really weird sound effect. Mine just goes. It's like a cinematic bass boost every time someone follows me. Hello. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome. But yeah, I just realised I did that. It's the first time I think someone's followed me whilst I'm actually painting. Nice. Since I've added on that sound effect.
Nice.
It kind of surprised me as I'm trying to do this detail painting. Okay, I've kind of sketched out all of the highlights, but there's not enough in there at the moment. Oh, it looks a bit like a burn victim. Oh no. It's just a bit too much contrast. All right. Hey, yeah. Hello, BS Gaming and Hobby. Yeah, I'm working today on Infinity models. Working on my Japanese secessionist army and painting up the kind of the line infantry keisotsus. And I'm trying to start off with the faces, and it's a painful process. But that's kind of what I'm working on at the moment. Yes. And I think Jeremy's doing a wizard.
Yes.
Which seems like maybe a bit more fun to paint than what I'm doing to myself right now. So I'm going to try and layer in each of these, basically kind of almost glazing up some of these colors. Just I want to keep some of the qualities of the Bugmans that's underneath.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, Bugman's is maybe a bit too red.
Right.
I'm wondering if I should have like perhaps done a skin tone in maybe a purple first,
Ah, yeah.
and then come up from the purple.
Yeah, it's not a bad
It just feels, I don't know, maybe a little bit too warm for these guys. I don't know. It's not quite working for me. Not quite working for me. But it's also a case of like, I don't know if you have this, like when you put the paint on and you're like, oh, that was a mistake. You go and do something else, and then when it dries,
Yeah.
it's kind of like, oh, it's actually blended in quite nicely.
Right.
And you kind of decide, okay, no, actually that was kind of good.
Yeah, definitely that happened.
God, for some reason he looks really yellowish. Like, I don't know.
I gotta get my Twitch chat up. Oh, there we go. Hey, BS Gaming. Yeah, these are, sorry, I missed the message. I didn't have my combined chat on. I was only looking at YouTube. This is a series of Magic users that Raphartha EU did. They had a Kickstarter, and they mostly are supporting miniature agnostic games with a different series of miniatures. And so this is a series of wizards for Frostgrave or any of the other kind of Heartbreaker or other miniature agnostic games that need a wizard as kind of the leader of your warband. So there's a couple of games that we're playing, so I wanted to paint up what I had. So for example, we've got like a one of the more character-y ones, a more nature or a mushroom wizard, and he's got a big cap on his head, and
they don't have like the cheese wizards from The Witcher, do they?
Oh no. No. And then of course they do the apprentice. So in Frostgrave you have a wizard and an apprentice, and they can both cast spells, but apprentice of course has a disadvantage, a negative factor when they cast the same spells. So there's always miniatures that are carrying a pile of books or running behind your wizard in a very worried way. But that gives you 2 opportunities around to cast spells in Frostgrave, whereas if you only had your wizard as a leader, you'd have better casting but only 1 chance. And that also helps with out of game spells as well. You get 2 chances to summon your demons and all that good stuff. Sorry about the focus. Yes, I'm just doing some basic color schemes and probably some snow on their bases. Yeah, on the channel, if you want to see... Oh, sorry.
Sorry, no, go ahead. I'm just screwing up this face. It is awful.
Oh, no.
I'm just like, what have I done to this guy?
Well, at least you're doing it live.
He looks gaunt.
Oh, no.
He looks gaunt. I'm just going to have to maybe... I don't know what to do, actually. Not with these paints. I might try and redo one of the... I might have a go at one of the other ones and just try for some different colours. Or I might just go over with a bit of Cadian Flesh and just hope that I can just warm him up a bit.
Nice.
Sorry, I'm just panicking about this. I was like, hey, this is the one I nailed the eyes for. And then it's just like, no, I'm just going to screw up all of the skin tones.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I'm just going over everything with a thin layer of Cadian Flesh. Hopefully that will act as a bit of a glaze that will... Actually, that's actually worked. Kind of worked. Okay. Kind of. I just toned it all down a little bit with just a glazing. I mean, you can't really see. I'm sorry, you can't see on the stream. This is the worst for that. Yeah, I am trying to push for contrast of colors a lot of the time, but on the face there, it just looked wrong. Like there are certain things that work for contrast, like really heavy contrasts. But skin tones tend to blend across each other. You got like a lot of contrast in skin tones, but they blend into each other very, very well. And so if you have a very stark, sudden change in the contrast, it looks just freakish. A bit like the Joker or something like that. It just looked odd. But yeah, I've just basically glazed over completely with Acadian Flesh just now. And it's kind of kept some of that properties of the contrast that I had whilst blending it all under a single color. And that kind of just helps settle that skin tone a little bit there. So I think I'm still going to try and put in a little bit of Kislev, but maybe I'm going to mix in a little bit of Acadian. I think that was the thing I was missing. I wasn't mixing my paints, and so the different paints had very different properties almost, and so that created that massive contrast. Whereas if I actually put in a layer in between of where I've mixed those two colors together, it should tie them together a little bit better. But yeah, I think that's what I needed to do. Yeah, I think that's looking a little bit better. I'm not. I've kind of now gone a bit too flat, perhaps. So I'm just gonna work it back and forth a bit until I can get where I really want it, and then end up with like such a thick layer of paint that it looks like he's got makeup on, because it's all got crusty. Or I could just leave him. Just move on to another model for the minute. I think I'm going to do that, because otherwise I'm going to mess around with him too much, and I need to kind of step away from him for a minute. Okay, now you are kind of cool. I think. Do I try? Okay. So I've got like deathly skin tones, colors for deathly skin tones. Mm-hmm. I'm wondering if I try going for something a little bit paler and a bit more, a bit scarier in that sense, kind of a cold skin look.
Oh.
So, might try some of my Nocturna paints and just kind of go a bit crazy. Cold flesh, frozen flesh, and white flesh. Let's give it a go. If it turns out really badly, I can redo it. But at least we're gonna get some like different skin tones. It's like there's like the 3 regular Keisotsus who are just like look like regular normal people, and then like there's the Kempe Tai who looks like the undead, just like leading them.
Nice.
We'll see how that turns out. It's probably gonna be an awful idea, but I'm gonna give it a shot. Oh, I used these paints for doing my my display piece that I did, which was a failure. I did it for a competition, for the Reddit mini painting competition. It was pretty high standards in that competition. It's pretty hardcore. But oh crappy, Christ! That's the first time ever I've had a Vallejo dropper bottle top break. Oh no! The top just popped off, literally.
Oh no!
The top just popped off there, so there's no cover on the top. Oh, no. I just tightened it too much. Now, hopefully, that sucks. Hopefully, I've got some spare dropper bottle tops. I'm hoping they're about the same size. I'm in there. Maybe somewhere. Where? Sorry, I'm talking to myself as I look for these things. Oh, I remember doing a tidy up, and I don't know where I put everything. That's always the problem when I do a tidy up. I always forget exactly where I put everything. Yikes! I've got a whole bunch of these things. Where are they? Are they in here? No, they're not in there. God damn it. Are you in the bottom here? Please say you are. Random stuff. Ooh! They'll be handy. I just found some cool flocking kind of material.
Oh, nice.
Like the moss type of stuff.
Yeah.
Used a bit of it on another model. I just found some. I was like, oh, I'm going to stick this on the base. I've just found a whole ton of it. That's great. Oh, no. Where are they? Right, not in there. Sure, I can put them in here. Ah, found them. They were here. Right, please be the right size. Right, let's have a looky. Please go on. I don't think they're the right size.
Oh no.
Oh, it's going on. Kind of on. They're completely different sizes, aren't they? Oh no! Did that happen? Oh Christ! I don't know if that's gonna. Oh, that's a completely different size. That's not going on at all. Oh yikes! Oh yikes! I guess I could super glue this plastic top back on. It might not be a perfect seal, but at least I'll be able to use it.
Right.
I think I'm just going to do that very quickly. I'm just going to super glue it on the top, let it dry, and then continue using it. I don't have any other choices, otherwise this dropper bottle's just done. Just after I said I'm really liking the dropper bottle.
Yeah.
Oh
no.
I believe this one popped off. I got to not tighten it on so much. Be careful. Okay, get. Oh, that's not on straight. Oh, it's sticking though. Oh Christ. There we go. There we go. I think got that on there. I think I'm just gonna seal it up. Oh, you know what I could use? I've got epoxy putty.
Ah.
Use that just to kind of create a sealed top.
Mm-hmm.
And then that might work. But for now, I'll just stick on the super glue and hope that that's enough. But yeah, we'll have to see. All right, well, that was not very productive painting right there. Yeesh. Kind of, these Nocturna paints are kind of weird. Some of them have a bit like weird consistencies, but there's some such interesting colours though. So I kind of got like the pale flesh tones set, and I got like the range of reds. The reds are fantastic. I really like the reds because you kind of got like warm reds and cold reds.
Oh, nice.
So the cold reds kind of go into slight pinkish kind of colours, and they're just. I use them to do the sword on the Sphinx, and I was really, really pleased with them. They were good. All right, this girl is going to be, like a necromancer. Oh, did you see the Sandman series on?
I haven't. Yeah, I haven't.
Netflix.
No, I haven't started it yet. I keep waiting until I've got some good time to get through it. But no, I haven't. I'm curious. Definitely curious about it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Oh, cool.
I really, really enjoyed it. It's pretty accurate to. I think it's fairly accurate to the comics and things.
Mm-hmm.
They've changed around a few things and where a few characters pop up, but for the TV series, I think they were correct choices all the way through.
Oh, nice.
I think you could see Neil Gaiman's hand in it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, because I remember like lots of people worried about death and
Yeah.
the person playing. But she was, I thought she was super, and I thought for the TV series, you could try and go with a little girl, but it's hard working with child actors.
Oh yeah.
And so I think they kind of went with the right kind of person. She had a really nice kind of cheerful disposition, but yet like her episode, everything was still very kind of emotionally heavy.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, I enjoyed it a lot actually.
Well, that's cool.
It was good.
Yeah, I'll have to make some time. Yeah, I was watching the finale of Better Call Saul. That was nice. A nice ending to that series. Yeah, good stuff.
I should try and watch that because I think I've only watched the first season properly. It's been a while, and I never really kind of got back into watching it.
Yeah.
And knowing it's kind of got an end as well.
Right.
It might be worth having another go. There's just too many things to watch, and I'm trying to not watch much. Saying that, I did because I got the Mac and things. I got like Apple TV.
Yeah.
As well, and so for that, the main thing for me was Mythic Quest.
Oh, cool. How is that?
It's fun. It's basically It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia for video gamers.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
It's a giggle. It's quite fun. There is actually surprisingly like a couple of episodes which are really emotionally heavy.
Oh wow.
Which I quite enjoyed. But yeah, it's a really good series. If you just want some fun.
Right.
It has and it had Ashley Birch in as well. I don't know if you know Ashley Birch.
No.
She's she does the voice of Tina in Borderlands.
Oh, okay.
So she did there was a web series that was quite popular quite a while ago now, called Hey Ash, What You Playing? And it was just like a mini series done by her and her older brother. So her older brother kind of wrote a lot of it. And they made this series called Hey Ash, What You Playing? And it's literally just every episode Ashley Birch is playing a game, and the brother comes along and is like, "Hey Ash, what you playing?" And then they do a skit based off of whatever they're playing. And from that writing, like the strength of his writing in that, he got hired to do the writing in Borderlands 2.
Oh, nice.
Which, if you notice, like the difference between Borderlands 1 and 2 in terms of its quality of writing, a lot of that was him.
Interesting.
And that's why she was also in it as Tina.
I see.
But I quite like her because of that old series. So it's kind of like a bit of a special place for her when she appears and stuff.
Nice.
But yeah, it's kind of a fun series, and they got season 3 coming soon, so I'll look forward to watching that. Okay, this color is so not the character, but it's come out really well.
Nice.
like it's if I was painting a necromancer, this is what I would paint. It was like, oh, that's come out really nicely. Like good contrast, but there's like no color in her face.
Oh wow.
It's almost all greys and things. But it looks really good. It just doesn't really fit the theme. But I'm gonna stick with it. I think it would be kind of cool to have. Actually, this would be fantastic for Aleph.
Ah, yeah.
I've got an Aleph character to paint. I think I'm gonna do this like that because yeah, it looks like not human almost. But man, it looks really cool. So I'm gonna stick with it. This Keisotsu is basically like death incarnate.
Nice.
Gonna be just going after people. That's awesome. That's mad. Okay, so I'm kind of happy with that. That was kind of fun. Let's try and bring it back to a more regular style, I guess. I think I do need to go a little dark. So I'm probably going to mix some of this Bugman's a bit with the cold flesh just to give that. Yeah, that's probably a better base for me, so that I can get that contrast in without having to go too bright.
Hey, unknown girl. Yes, we figured it out. A simultaneous painting stream. But mine's just incredibly out of focus. That's the only difference between the two.
Well, I would also say probably mine is also not the most clear in definition, just because it's too far away, I think, for this. We'll figure it out. But I like this. This has been really nice.
Yeah, yeah.
So if we could make this a fairly regular thing, that would be
Oh, yeah, yeah. It beats talking to yourself.
great, just to get
Yeah.
some. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Normally, I'll just switch. Yeah. If I'm on a stream, I do tend to just talk to myself because I'm kind of at the moment irregular with my timings. So I want to try and make some regular times for streaming. So I've kind of put in for like a Thursday evening is kind of just my time to go, okay, I'm going to paint.
Nice.
And then if we can do this on the Saturdays, like I don't think we can do every Saturday, but we can certainly do a few.
Yeah.
And that would be kind of nice. That would be nice. I'm going to mix Bugman's with the Cadian flesh, so it's not quite so red. Try that. I'm going to get another weird looking one, I think. But at least they'll all have slightly different skin tones. No two people are exactly the same, so it's kind of good. This might work. Maybe not. I could literally like spend hours trying to do faces.
Yeah.
Just constantly refixing and retouching. And
Right.
eventually I get to a point where I'm like, okay, no, I do have to stop because I'm making it worse. Okay. I'm kind of digging this colors here a little bit. This is going okay.
Nice.
It's got a little bit more depth of color. So yeah, what I did differently with this one was I changed the base from Bugman's to a mixture of Bugman's and the cold flesh paint that I was using. You've stuck much in, I think. I'm going to see if I can put this back on. without it breaking. Okay, there we go. So, can't believe I did that. It was dumb. Yeah, having a rather than just going pure Bugman's, because Bugman's is a very, very kind of reddish brown, and sometimes maybe it's too warm. It's kind of, I guess, good for dwarves.
Right, a good wind-burnt skin of dwarves. Yeah.
Right. Sometimes having something a little bit paler is going to be better. But for the base, just mixing that Bugman's with a little bit of the cold flesh I was using, just kind of gives it a good base, kind of giving some shadows. And now I'm just kind of building up Cadian flesh tone into the model, which is still quite a warm colour. I'm not getting that reddish brown coming through as much. It's a bit of a darker base, which allows me to kind of keep a better contrast between light and dark, which, yeah, I think is working for me. Until I screw it up. Go. Okay. I think one's turning out well. I feel I have to redo one of the eyes. Damn it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is turning out actually. Oh, I'm actually really liking this. This is, you just experiment and you find something that works, and it can really be a good thing. I don't know how well you can see that on the stream. I'm trying to look at it on my screen. It's hard to tell, but I think it's coming out okay. Okay, now do I go a little bit, just that little touch higher?
Uh-oh.
Or am I gonna now ruin it? I can always bring it back down. Just. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it as that. She's turned out all right. And she's my missile launcher, so I'm going to be making good use of her in games.
Nice.
So, yeah, she's come out well. So I've got, so far, I've got Mr. Perfect Eyes, no depth of skin. I've got the Living Dead. She's literally like the Living Dead. But I'm really pleased with how well it came out. I'm gonna stick with it and see how it might be a bit too much, because like the color scheme of the, mind you, no, she's a Keitotsu, so she's got a lot more color actually in her design. So she's gonna have lots of yellows and things as well. And then I got my missile launcher where it's like, okay, that is where it's at. That's where I've really hit it, I think. So I've got my hacker left to do for the face. And then we can start actually kind of getting on with the actual rest of the model. This guy's got a beard, so I've got to deal with that later. First, let's go again. Darken. Skin tone a little bit.
Hey, nice to have you back. Yeah, thanks for the suggestion about zooming in the camera. That I think that helped a lot. It gives it less other details to find.
I could actually try zooming mine in, just seeing what it's like. I'm a bit worried about doing it though.
Yeah, right. Yeah, if it's a digital zoom too, you might get some artifacts or something too.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not going to zoom with the actual camera, but I might just zoom in with the actual software.
Oh, right, okay.
That way, it should just be the same kind of thing, but I don't have to fiddle around with the actual camera itself.
Right. Oh, good idea.
Is a zoom filter. Z1. I guess I'm gonna screw up my entire stream probably by playing around with it now. I'm just like, oh no, what am I? What do I need? What do I need? What do I need? I need a transform. That's the transform. Need a transform. Size. There we go. Hold on. I need. Oh. The problem is that if I change the size, I can only do it. It doesn't have a choice to just link both the vertical and the horizontal together doing it that way.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm not going to mess around with it. No one's asking me to zoom in, and I'm just causing problems for myself and not actually painting.
Right.
I'm making excuses to avoid painting right now. Not good. Yeah, because before I was painting the Sphinx, so the Sphinx like took up the whole screen.
Right.
Because he's massive.
There we go.
No, I'm just doing line troopers and they're all teeny tiny. There we go. Okay. I don't know if you want some time to play a game of Infinity again over Tabletop Simulator sometime. Yeah. If you wanted to have another go, kind of get used to the rules a little bit more. It would be really nice to eventually then play in person with the models.
Right. Yeah, that would be really
but yeah, like that would be kind of, and then perhaps also if we get used to the rules and a smoother play experience, it'd be kind of nice to stream that as well.
Oh yeah, that would be really fun. All right. Oh, thanks, Yum. Yeah, I'm just using washes over a light primer, so it's giving me nice, like, watercolory looking the contrast paints. Yeah, really pick out the details. That's the nice thing about the older style metal miniatures, is they've got a lot of nice little not computer perfect detail, so contrast grabs all of that stuff. You can see all the wrinkles in the face and everything really well, and the little stitching on the back. Once I get that shaded, it'll look nice. All right.
Yeah, I need to actually have a quick look at your stream properly to see how that's going. Oh, I see. Oh, you've got it. Yeah, you've got it nice and big on your screen.
Yeah, super.
That's super.
Yeah, so it's big and out of focus though is the problem.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it's falling out of focus now.
Yeah. Very, very easy.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, it's hard to keep. This guy's a little
Yeah,
scrunched up.
that's one of the difficulties I was having was when the camera was closer, you had a much tighter depth of focus as well.
Right,
so
right.
even if I did a fixed focus, any kind of movements I was doing with the model would then
Yeah.
put it out of focus again.
Yep.
And because of like the weird position of the model, compared with the camera, I found I couldn't get in a comfortable position to paint with the camera where it was.
Oh, right.
And so that caused my need to move the model around even more,
Yeah.
which was a bit of a pain.
Yeah, I've definitely been
But
fussing with that too. Same thing.
yeah, find that right position for a stream is really hard. It's like you kind of you give up on one. I don't know. You find a new position and you're like, oh, this works really well for this, but then it causes other problems.
Right.
You're like, oh, okay, now I'm going to go back to that old position. You're like, yeah. Then, no.
Yeah, I wish I could
I'll
just
find it.
keep things set up, but yeah, I have to keep kind of shifting around, so that makes it harder too.
Yeah, the one advantage of actually having it in this kind of like higher position where I kind of just have this the telephoto lens on is that the arm that's holding it is just stuck there. It's never in my way. So all I have to do is just stick my phone in it and it goes.
Yeah.
But yeah. Could do with, because these are dark models that I'm painting, so maybe even if I knock down some of the contrast. A little bit. I'll do a little bit of color correction on my screen. This is where I'm going to screw it up again. Or just blinded. Oh, and knocked up the gamma way too far. Okay, that's easier to see. Much on that. Okay, that's probably a bit easier to see. I've just knocked up the gamma basically on mine.
Oh, nice.
And it's kind of nice in that way. Okay, I think that's okay. Kind of. Yeah, I think you can actually see the face a little bit now.
Nice.
Which might improve it a little bit. Okay. I've still got to go a little bit lighter. I'm not doing quite as clean a job with this one as I did with the previous one, but still better than the first. I think I need to thin the paints a little bit more so they just create more of a blend. I can just then build up the layers a bit more. Yeah. I don't know. I think maybe I'm just going to have to say, yeah, that's it for the faces at the moment, and then kind of work on the rest of the model.
Yeah.
And then I can always come back and do a bit more on these faces and just kind of bring out the details that I really need. This guy's kind of looking down, and I think keeping him fairly dark is okay. I've got to paint his beard as well. I have to decide eventually what kind of colour beard I'm going to go for.
Right.
Okay, so I'm gonna switch gears now and actually go to doing the armor, which is kind of a fun part of the model. Try out my new brushes.
Oh, right.
See how it goes with this. It should be a little bit more forgiving. Now, I've got some grey that's been on my palette for a while, and damn it. I was hoping it would thin down. So, like how sometimes they'll thin down,
Right.
and you get them really watery on your palette, and then sometimes they'll just go hard.
Right.
Oh, thank you for the follow, Yum Nom. Is it Yum Nom there?
Yep,
Thank you very much. Very much appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, right. Okay, I've watered down this grey, and I'm hoping I can apply it the way I want. So I'm gonna kind of build up the shade areas that I need. I think I've done still way too much. Oh my god. I realised I had a light shining right on the model, and it was just creating like a shine back in my face when I put on the wet paint.
Yeah, right.
I can't see. Okay, so I'm just going to sketch out some of the light on the model there. You can kind of see where I'm putting that grey there. Once that grey goes down, then I'm going to build that up to a lighter grey, and then I'm just going to keep on working on blending it until it looks, hopefully, nice and smooth. That's always the aim. I need my reference model so I don't fudge this up. Where have you got my... You're there. So that's my reference model there. I painted this model a long time ago. Too much shine, unfollow. Yeah, it's not grimdark enough. I forgot completely what my trail of thought was, so great. I think that's... Yeah, so... Yeah, these... I don't think I'm actually going to buy these brushes again.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's got a nice point, but again, like always with the nylon brushes, you very quickly get that hook.
Yes, yeah, that's what I'm dealing with right now. Yeah.
I'm kind of... I'll give them a good clean after the session. I'll just kind of soap them and see if I can clean them up a bit. But I'm not too impressed. So I think I'm gonna bite the bullet and maybe order some Artis Opus ones directly from England.
Oh, cool.
I think that would be the best way to go. I really want to see if they're any good, because a lot of people seem to really like them, and they're really nice quality. And also I was looking, the shipping from England is actually really cheap.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
From their website.
Yeah, all the drive-through print-on-demand stuff comes from England to Japan, and yeah, you can get a book for delivered for $5 or less than £5.
So I'll have to see if they... Oh god, I'm putting this on way too thick. Yeah, all right. I'll have to see if I can get hold of the the Infinity mangas.
Yeah.
For a decent, cheap enough price, because it's always just too expensive to ship from most places. But if I can find them, it might be a nice little thing to buy.
Yeah.
Because probably my most popular YouTube video is my I did have a what's it, a clickbaity title.
Oh yeah.
Which was the biggest problem with Corvus Belli's Infinity, and it's not the game. It was basically me railing against the fact that it's like the lore, it's supposed to. It reads like a treatise almost. It's like a history book, and it details all technology and historical events and all of these types of things. But it doesn't. There's very little lore that kind of actually is about the characters or about the people in the human sphere.
Right.
I don't even need it to be about the specific characters of the game, but just for some reference of like what life is like for people or how people do some of those kind of how I don't know, like how the bounty hunters live and things like that. Those kind of interesting lives. Like what do they do through the day-to-days and things, or how do they investigate and do all those types of stuff. I would like to know that kind of stuff because I find that is what immerses me into a world sometimes, and especially for the RPG.
Oh yeah,
because it's really hard to, because there's so much in the world of Infinity in terms of actual information about how the world is. So there's been a lot of world building into it, but very little in the way of stories of the people within the world. So it's then hard to relate all of this information into an actual experience, you know?
Right.
That was my kind of the gist of my video. I got quite a lot of people that agreed in certain respects, and then kind of like, people sharing some other points of view, which were all good.
Good.
But definitely my most clickbaity video I've done. But that's the thing that birthed me actually writing the short stories.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Because it originally started as a painting Victor Messer video, like one of the characters that I have from Infinity that I was painting. And I like to always add on a little bit of information about each of the characters. And I couldn't find anything about him. It's like, hold on a minute, this is like a key character in the world of Infinity, and there is just like almost nothing about him when you go searching for it. It's really, really frustrating. And so as part of my video, the second half of it was, well, rather than just complain about the fact that I would like to see more kind of stories about the characters, I was like, I'll write one myself.
Nice.
And that's where I wrote the Victor Messer story of how he gets sepsitarized by the Shasvasti. Basically murdered to be replaced by a copy.
Very cool. Yeah, that's a really good idea. And it might motivate, Corvus Belli to start looking for, start producing more lore or more fiction, because that's the thing that's so strong about.
Right, and it looks like, they are actually producing a lot more fiction and things. Good. I mean, it's got nothing to do with me, I don't think, but I think it was more of like they are leaning towards that. They've had their first novel out.
Oh, nice.
I haven't been able to read that, but I would like to, just to see what it's like. I've heard mixed reviews about it. It's kind of done like almost like a military book, a military novel. So like about the Pan-Oceanian Templars, which are not really my faction at all. I have they're not the faction that really spoke to me when I got into the game. So it's not been something I've been like, I gotta read that kind of thing, because it's outside of the kind of the faction that really interests me. But they got a couple of mangas or graphic novels So I would like to check them out if I can. I was hoping that there would be digital versions of them, but there's not.
Oh, really?
So I think that's a bit of a missed opportunity there.
Oh, yeah.
To have some digital. They don't seem to do any digital offerings of them. So that's a bit of a shame.
Yeah.
They generally like all of their rules are free for the game. But if you want kind of extra lore and things, you have to buy the books. But they'll only never do the physical copies. There's not digital copies of those story books, which again I think is a bit of a missed opportunity, because certainly for like the ones which are no longer relevant in terms of the rules, I still think the stories and the history in them is still relevant.
Right. That's a good one.
So it'll be kind of like just charge a few bucks on some of those internet role playing, what's the role playing one called? The role playing shop.
Oh, drive through.
The one where you can buy PDFs. Drive through RPG. Yeah. Just having them available on there, because that's what you can do with the Malifaux ones. They have all of their old back catalogs and things for cheap. So it's like they're not really used. No one's buying them when they come into the game unless they want the stories. And so it's like a nice opportunity to get some of the backstories.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that was my ranty video that I did. My one ranty video. I'm not usually a ranty person, but that was the one thing that kind of was like, oh, this is a missed opportunity, I feel.
Yeah.
But I'm enjoying kind of writing fiction based in the universe. I'm finding it fun.
That's cool.
And tying it into the Infinity Defiance board game.
Right.
Which I've now got to start editing.
Yeah, I mentioned.
I'm
I mentioned on the weekly. We recorded on Discord the audio of the Blade Runner campaign, and I mentioned that, and people were like, "Oh, I want to hear that." So it's like, "Oh, that's 11 hours of audio to edit."
Oh,
But it'll be worth it. And I'll cut out like the rules lookups and a lot of the the rules and questions and stuff. So it'll be smaller than that, but it's a lot of editing. Yeah.
Oh God, I bet. Yeah, that does sound like a bit of a grueling edit.
Right. Yeah. But
the
if I break it
audio
up,
edits.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
No, if I break it up into episodes, I can probably because as I release them, then that'll motivate me to finish it. But right now, it sounds like a very difficult task.
Sounds. I don't envy you on that one. Mind you, I've got this crazy bloody fully animated edit to do for Defiance. I was like, oh yeah, this generated quite a bit of interest. Now I've got to do more.
Right.
Damn! I really enjoy it, but it really does take up a lot of time and kind of focus and concentration.
Yeah, that's true.
But once I get started on it, it should be okay. I've kind of now I've got that first video as well. I can and with DaVinci Resolve, it's quite good for editing because you can have a simultaneous project running at the same time, and you can basically copy and paste from it. So it's very, very easy to just pull stuff from other projects into this project because you have them running simultaneously at the same time, and just basically copy and paste it in.
Nice.
And it's like, oh, that's really handy. And now I've also got a kind of I know what my approach is with how to make the video, and hopefully as well with each of the turns coming out. Once I actually start going, and I can release the turns on the Patreon, that'll hopefully keep some interest there going. Nice. It'll be that will kind of keep my motivation up as well.
Good.
Yeah, thank you for suggesting the Patreon. I mean, the
Oh,
really good thing about it is it kind of allows me to just put in some like really quick projects which I wouldn't normally put on YouTube
yeah, yeah.
and just be able to like, okay, this is just kind of like extra stuff I'm gonna just play around with.
Hmm. Yeah, and it's nice because it's like a little walled garden that you can experiment in, and it, you don't have all of YouTube criticizing it, and people that are interested in your stuff, will have access to it. So that's good.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, hey, yeah, we're going to probably going to be playing with the miniatures that Nick is painting because playing some Infinity and the Defiance board game. We did that with we met up and did that previously, and Nick has on his channel, on the Zombie Sashimi channel, has a playthrough showing all of his all the miniatures that he painted for that board game. So yeah, the Infinity miniatures will probably use. These are just painting, so I have a selection of wizards to choose from if we do some more Brawl Arcana, because the games are pretty short, and we were changing wizards every round, so that'll help if there's a fun selection. All right. Yeah, and just don't want to definitely don't want to stream anything unpainted if we can help it.
Yeah, it's nice to have those painted models on the board.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't like to play a game until everything's painted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's very true. All right. Oh, I know what I can do.
Means I can't play my games very often.
Right. Yes.
But right now, I've got a full Shazvasti army pretty much painted. I'm just like, yeah, okay, I'm ready to actually play. And it's like, oh, I don't know anyone in Osaka who actually plays Infinity.
Right.
So I think that's something I'm going to have to... I think there's a lot of other places where they do. I just moved to Tokyo.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like, there's a whole scene up there.
Yeah, yeah. That's true.
But yeah, actually that website that is that sells the Infinity models, they actually have they've been translating the rules into Japanese, I think.
Oh, wow.
They have like these PDFs that explain certain areas of the rules in Japanese for people.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so if I'd really like to see if there's like a wargaming group in Osaka anymore. I know there used to be one in the Naniwa Ward and things, but I think COVID kind of killed it.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Oh, I really like painting this color scheme. It's really, I find it really relaxing. Normally, like painting black and painting white it's seen as a very difficult color to paint.
Mm-hmm.
But I find the painting that like the black armor is not too bad. Like just creating that slight shine that appears on the armor, it comes out okay. And I must say, actually, increasing that gamma on my on the feed has improved the video quality a lot. Nice. I think it looks a lot better, so I'm kind of happy about that.
Nice.
It was mainly just because the model was so dark,
right?
Because it's basically a black model. That you just couldn't see anything. It was just like, I'm just playing around with this black pit. Yeah. But now I'm going to be going back to work again on Monday.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to kind of get back into the rhythm of things. That's going to be a bit weird.
Yeah, right. So how long did you have to quarantine?
Oh, pretty much 10 days.
Oh, right.
And yeah, so it was just 10 days of being in this room.
Wow, right. Yeah.
Basically, this was the best room to be in. So I was basically just, every day was just painting. I was like, okay, I'm not going to go too crazy on editing videos and things. Mm-hmm. I think that's just going to stress me out a little bit. I haven't painted for a while, so let me just focus on my paints. And it was really cathartic.
Good.
I really enjoyed it. And got a lot done, actually. I got, what was it, 8 012 models painted up.
Oh, wow.
I got the Mentor painted, the Sphinx, 2 remotes, which when I uploaded those onto some of the Discord that I'm kind of frequenting, they kind of mentioned that it looks like meat. They look really tasty.
Oh, nice.
And then also like the color scheme is very Attack on Titan.
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, they are kind of meaty. If you'd like to see those, go and check out my Instagram, Zombie Sashimi. And you can see all of the painting that I've been doing these last few days.
Nice. Your meaty Sphinx is there.
Actually, my meaty remotes.
Meaty remotes. Oh, that's right, the remotes.
Meaty remotes. Yeah.
Nice.
They came out pretty well. I was pretty pleased. All right, I'm painting without rhyme or reason here. I'm just kind of slapping paint where I feel is the right place. That's generally how I work when it comes to doing this kind of this. It's not like a full NMM type thing, but it's certainly like shading in light patterns and things, or reflections and things. I tend to go in not with a particular idea, and I just slap paint on and see what works, and just go by rule of cool.
Nice.
Generally the rule. And as I do it more, I think I'm getting better at knowing just instinctively where to place the paint. Still not perfect, but it's getting better.
There we go. An enchanted broom. You can do constructs and enchanted creations, and so for this set they included a Fantasia style animate broom, like an enchanted anthropomorphic broom with arms walking on its bristles.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. So very
fantastic.
40s Disney style. All right.
I'm going to try a little bit of ivory mixed in with this grey, and hope that I don't go too bright for my last highlights. I'm finding like stippling works quite nicely for when I have like large surface areas, where normally with a brush stroke I kind of end up seeing the brush stroke a lot.
Right.
When it's like a larger surface area. When it's like more tight surface areas, it works really well. Just doing the basic layering, but sometimes like with these kind of more larger surface areas, like these breast plates, just stippling a very kind of thin down paint has worked quite well.
Oh, that's cool.
And then just kind of glazing over it just to clean it all together. Of enjoying kind of like learning new techniques or how different techniques can be used to create the effects you're looking for. I keep getting amazed by these fantastic painters on Instagram and just going, I want to paint like that.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, some of the stuff, I see on Instagram is just like, wow, that's insane. And some of the,
Excuse me.
oh, sure. The glowing effects and like the, the object source lighting, some of it looks like there's like LEDs, like they just had, they just put an LED in the model. But it's actually it's all paint.
Yeah. There's some absolutely phenomenal ones. I think it's is it Mark Mascalin's? I think he's one of my favorites, and he'll paint like a bust, a resin bust, and it will look like a perfect 2-dimensional painting.
Oh,
but then you realize it's like fully 3D.
Right.
And it's just like it just blows your mind. Like looking at it from any angle looks like a perfect flat image.
Wow.
Like just a beautiful graphic designed painting. Like just absolutely amazing work. And the fact that it's a fully 3D model is unbelievable. He's honestly like one of the best. I think that was Mark Mascalin's. I think maybe he's Italian. I'm not sure. Italian or maybe he's Spanish. I'm not sure actually. But he's really, really good. So I kind of like see some of his work, and I'm like, oh god, if I could even just get even slightly close to that, that would be. I could do 1/10 of what he can. It's also like watching some of those and I always get the name wrong because I can't do the names because it reads as Angel Geraldes, but it's Angel Geraldes.
Oh yeah, right.
Terrible with the pronunciations of the Spanish names. I'm awful. But he's like, you kind of see his like some of his videos and things that he just has a quick bit on Instagram that shows a bit. Absolutely phenomenal work as well. And how fast he can paint. He's like in 10 minutes he can do like this near perfect model, and he's just like, oh, you
right
son of a bitch.
Yeah, that's true. And he'll just like show you like 3 bottles of paint and get this amazing range of colors and tones out of it.
Brilliant eye for tones and things. That's also something I would like to learn, is how to do that. So like I'm really tempted. I'm kind of back and forth a lot on getting the base Chimera colors set. I've heard they're kind of a little bit difficult to use, but the intensity of their pigments is really, really good. And that base color set, you can basically mix those colors and create almost any kind of color.
Oh, cool.
It kind of gives you the basis of what you need to make almost any colors.
Right.
So I'm kind of like, oh, I'd love to mess around with that. But then I'm like, am I going to end up just not painting anything because it takes me so long to figure out colors?
Right. Yeah, that's true.
But I do quite a lot of mixing now with the colors that I already have, and I find Vallejo colors just to be really good. Just very solid, just good paints. So I'm really, really happy that you pointed me in the direction of Volks that have all of those paints.
Oh yeah. That's a real godsend for especially for Osaka. Yeah.
Right, it's just just being able to actually get Vallejo paints, and also at a really good price.
Yeah, that's true.
So also good because like you can go to what's it like Yodobashi Camera, and they'll have things like some other like alternative ranges and things like what's it? Is it Green Stuff World or
right?
I can't remember what they're called. But they'll have their ranges, but their GW prices and things. Right. So it's like 500, 600 yen for a 1-dropper bottle. Yeah, and so having these ones at like 350 after tax is great.
Yeah.
I'm slowly building up my Vallejo collection of paints, but I'm also trying to make sure that I just use what I've got and learn how to mix, find the colors that I really need.
Right. That's good.
When I'm painting. Right, I'm kind of retreading a lot of ground with this guy, I think. But I'm just enjoying this part of the model. I really enjoy just building the volumes.
Mm-hmm.
Is just, I find this so much fun.
Nice. Well, thanks, Yum. Thanks for the compliment. See you next time if you're taken off. Okay, bye. Hey Joe, how's it going? Good morning. It's morning in California, West Coast. Yeah, American West Coast.
Well, what time?
What is it? What time is it for you, Joe? It's what is it, like 12 hours behind? No, it's not an even. Yeah, it's not an even. It's like maybe 15 or something.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, kind of on the West Coast. Yeah,
Yeah.
going back quite a bit, aren't you?
Right. Yeah, so something like that. Oh, 7:45. Yeah, wow. Yeah, so quite a bit. Well, good morning. This is our early morning.
It's the end of our day.
Yeah, right. Early morning painting stream. Nice.
Yeah, it's so hard to find the right good time in Japan.
Oh, yeah.
Because I find, like, the times that I am actually free to do some painting and things. Oh, thank you very much. A pimped butterfly 117. I'm glad you like it. It's a good name as well. Thank you. But yeah, thank you very much. I'm glad you like the look of it so far. It's got a ways to go, but I'm kind of a slow painter, but I like to just take my time and where I can just kind of build up the volumes. It's been my one of the big things. One of them, which I said earlier, was the building contrast into my models. That I've been really enjoying. And the other thing is getting smoother transitions and blends. I'm still not quite there yet, but I'm getting there as I go. But yeah, just having some fun with this part of the painting process. I really, really love. Just building the transitions is great fun. I remember when I started, like, my models were awful.
Right.
Gosh, when did I start now? I started with getting since being in Japan, when I got back into doing like model gaming and things, was I think 6th edition of 40k.
Oh, really?
So I think I got the Dark Vengeance set, which had the Chaos and Dark Angels.
Right.
That was a really good set.
Yeah.
That was an awesome box set. And yeah, as soon as I got it, I think I painted up one of the bikes, and it was awful. Careful with licking the brush. It's fine. It's yummy. The paint is great. It's super yummy. I can't help it. I always lick my brush. I'm one of those dirty brush lickers, I'm afraid.
Oh, man.
I'm perhaps a spawn of Nurgle. I don't know.
Nice. You're just lucky they don't put lead in the white paint anymore, or
right,
or radium in the.
Right. Yeah, no, these acrylics are all right. I'm not using any Tamiya paints and things. Not necessarily non-toxic. Okay, thank you for that.
Yeah, Yeah, long-term exposure. We still don't have the hard data for long-term exposure. A lifetime of brush licking.
Do we? Yeah, do we need a study on this? It's
Well,
like,
maybe.
and here's the stomach of a lifelong brush licker. It's like those smoking commercials, like, here's the inside of a lung of someone who died,
Right,
who was
right.
a chain smoker, and things, the dangers of chain smoking, like, the dangers of brush licking. That need to be like a meme video.
Right. Definitely.
I'm not sure if I can actually stop myself from actually licking the brush. I'm literally like this.
Now you're all self-conscious.
Yeah, like you're getting in my head now. I'm just like, oh, don't lick it. The more I'm telling myself not to lick it, the more I kind of just want to stick it in my mouth.
Just lick it off camera, then nobody will know.
I literally was just about to lick it. All right. It's funny actually. Like there are certain flavors to the paint found. Do not ever lick your brush if you're using typhus corrosion.
Oh, yeah.
That's like the worst paint I've ever accidentally licked. Oh, it's disgusting.
Oh man. Now, yeah.
It was like, it makes sense because it's like typhus corrosion.
Right,
Kind of
right.
thing. It's like a full-on nurgly paint. That's disgusting. That one really, do not lick my paint when I get that one. Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, sorry. Pimped Butterfly. My accent. I'm from England. I'm from the southeast, so I don't really have much of a strong accent from there at the moment. One, because I don't think actually living in Japan has actually affected it that much. Although it has actually made me have a stronger ear for my own accent, which like when you're growing up and things, you just don't notice, and then when you're away from it for a long time, then you go back home, you're like, oh my God, I can hear the accent so strongly now. But my parents are middle class, so England has this thing of like, you have like regional accents, but then you also have like a class accent as well. So mine is kind of middle class. So it doesn't really matter which part of the country almost you're from. If you're middle class, you kind of have this accent. But like my home accent of Essex, we just don't pronounce the H's. Everything's an F, and it's horrible.
Oh yeah. Right.
So everything's with an F instead of a TH. Oh, right. He's a Scouser. All right, then. Yeah. I'm not going to do the accent because I'm awful at accents and I just seem to offend people when I do it. So, yeah, Scouse is hard sometimes. Yeah. That's a thick one. That's a strong one. Mind you, I lived in Yorkshire and I was in Barnsley, of all places. So you probably know that is something else. Chicken in a can of Coke. Oh my. Oh crikey. But yeah, I used to live in Barnsley. So when I moved to Barnsley, and you like ask for directions or something, you're like, oh, where's this place, kind of thing. You're looking for places. They just say, it's up that road. And so yeah, I'm probably killing that accent there really badly. But yeah, it was just like, what? It's where? It's up that road. Just go up that road on corner. And so like after a while you do start to get an ear for it and things. But I remember when I first went up there, I was with my dad, and my dad just turned around to me. He's like, do you understand anything they're saying? I was like, no. That was a thick accent there. We've got to try some parking. No, I'm going to stop now because I can't do accents. It was funny, like I was living there and I was living with a guy from Birmingham, although he said he was from Cannock. but that's basically Birmingham. And so Birmingham is, for anyone who's not familiar, that's basically where the Peaky Blinders are from.
Right.
Except no one speaks like the Peaky Blinders anymore in Birmingham. So Peaky Blinders is proper hard and proper tough. But in Birmingham, when you go there, like, all right, mate, hello, how's it going? Kind of thing. They're very, very pleasant. He wants me to have a go at doing Scouse. The only thing I can do with Scouse is I think I go back to, is it the comedy sketch show, the Harry Enfield show, I think. All right, mate. All right. That's about as far as I go with Scouse. Brummie's funny. Like Brummie is like, if you could be like the smartest person in the world, but if you have a Brummie accent, you sound as thick as shit. I'm sorry. It's just the way it goes sometimes. Like it just sometimes like that really pleasant kind of happy-go-lucky kind of Brummie accent is just, it just doesn't sound smart, but it's I'm crapping on people from different areas of England. I'm terrible. I feel awful.
Nice.
I'm mixing the wrong paints together as well. But yeah. Oh, crikey. But yeah, I'm from Essex, so I'm not sure if I can actually do an Essex accent properly. I try to avoid it so much because it's just such a terrible accent. But yeah. So from where I'm from down south, mate. Everything's an F. Oh, yeah, thanks. It's just, I don't know, it's just doesn't sound good at all. We get like a lot around from where I'm from. We get a lot of like East Londoners move over to my neck of the woods. Because I'm kind of like close to Southend, which is kind of a lot by the beach, episode of Towie. I'm lost. What is Towie? Sorry, I'm just looking at my looking at the chat. I'm just like, I'm lost on that one. What is Towie? I don't know it. Not sure. But I actually completely forgot my trail of thought. Oh, The Only Way is Essex. You know, I've never seen The Only Way is Essex. I've never ever seen it. Probably because I'm from Essex and I don't want to be reminded. Yeah, I've heard of The Only Way is Essex. I've luckily been in Japan for too long. I don't think it's come over here. I'm not sure, actually. It might be on one of the streaming services. But yeah, I've never actually seen The Only Way is Essex. So any references to it go over my head. You've seen some adverts. I have to look up the adverts maybe and just kind of get an idea of what I'm missing. I'm sure it's nothing. Yeah. Christ, my hometown. But there's some good places in my hometown. Actually, there's some really, really good places. I've got like there's a really nice like there's a place called Old Lee. It's all kind of like cobblestones and old pubs. I used to work in a bunch of them for a while. They're really, it's a really nice area. So that's a really cool area to go to. So if you ever go down to Essex, or if you're ever around near Southend, go to Old Lee. It's just a lovely little area, and you got the beach nearby as well. Just if it's got good weather, then you got all the lads with their tops off, and they're just lads who should never take their tops off usually. It's pretty nasty. Yeah, and they get pretty drunk. It's just like working there as well was there's some just right odd characters. So it's like there's a guy obviously suffering from dehydration after drinking a lot in the sun, and his mates are like, "Oh, you're looking a bit bad. Do you want a drink? You need a beer?" It's like he doesn't need a beer; he needs water. It's just dumb. But yeah, I don't know. Like I've been away from England too long, so I don't know. Everything could have changed. Probably not, though, considering all the news that I see coming out of England. I'm just like going back and forth on this model again and again and again, and I just can't stop doing it. And now I've just lost my earphones. My earphones have died.
Oh no.
So I've got one ear going at the moment. So I'm going to very quickly charge them, but it probably means I can't listen to anything for a while. I've got to go and get my earphone charger, so I'm just going to have a quick break.
Okay.
No, it's still the same. Yeah, I thought it might be still the same.
Nice. Oh, hey, Joe. Yeah, you can definitely do your own miniatures. I mean, if you've got the 3D skills, 3D printers are great because you can make physical copies of things that you sculpt. I just don't have the skills for it. But you know, there's a lot of STL files, which is what you slice up and feed to your 3D printer. So there's a lot of those available by a lot of artists, and there's also a lot of Patreons for artists and studios doing 3D. So they, give you permission for personal use to print their miniatures, and you could also, if you support them with a bit more money monthly, you can also sell the miniatures that you print by them. They have a retailer, like reseller or retailer licenses. So yeah, that is a thing. But but companies that don't offer the actual 3D models don't want you to, reproduce them and print them. That's actually a thing right now that they're talking about. Is there's a marketplace for 3D assets, and Games Workshop sent them a big cease and desist because a lot of stuff looks too much like their trademarked and licensed protected IP. Yeah, did you see that Colts 3D was talking about having to deal with GW's takedown notices?
Colts 3D.
Yeah, so and they're kind of just like a storefront, like a marketplace for people to upload their 3D creations, and there was a lot of Warhammer on there, and people were kind of just brazenly using the names, the trademark names of all the Age of Sigmar things. But
just asking for it, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's asking for trouble.
Right. And they even or what their response was, because a lot of them weren't being sold, they were just available for free. So their response has been, and I don't know if it's a legally sound response, but they're saying this is 3D fan art and nobody's making any money off of it. So unless you're going to go take all the fan art, the 40K fan art, 2D fan art off the web, then why are you telling us to take this down? So that's an interesting angle. I don't think anyone's done that.
Copyright law is really difficult, isn't it, to enforce? It's sometimes like with the big companies, like we think they're just being assholes, but it's in some ways they have to be to be able to protect their copyright.
Right.
I'm not saying that
GW is an
I agree with GW's
right.
acts sometimes, but there is to a certain extent something understandable about it, because if they don't go after protecting their IP, if there is something that does really infringe on it, it's like, well, why didn't you do it with all of these other examples? And you lose any kind of copyright claims and things. It's kind of tricky. I think they kind of like showed that a little bit in the what was it, that video game documentary series on Netflix with the whole Donkey Kong thing.
Oh, right.
Because I think Universal tried to sue Nintendo
That's right.
and the Nintendo's lawyer Jack Kirby basically went around the country going, look, if you're going to make a copyright claim on Donkey Kong, look at all these other places using the image of King Kong, and you haven't done any kind of copyright work against them. And so they lost the suit because Universal didn't do enough to protect their own IP in terms of other things around the country.
Yeah.
And that's where Kirby came from.
Right. Yeah, that's so funny.
I'm not sure if that's a compliment for him or not.
Yeah.
We've got this fat pink thing that eats anything. Like, you're American. That's kind of relatable to you, I guess. Thanks. I think. Okay, I've done. I'm done insulting my own country's people. I'm now going to move to other country's people and start insulting everybody. Oh, I'm an awful human being. Well, I guess everyone gets an equal shake of the stick, I guess. So it's not too bad.
There you go. All right.
How are your models coming along? Did you finish the broomstick?
Yeah. I just put a little bit of shade on this guy. Get the bristles to stick out a little bit more. Yeah, I'm gonna do maybe some dry brushing or something on the wood, just so you can that raised grain like shows up a little bit, just so it's simply it's pretty dark, and also even out. Right. You can see the contrast when there's not a lot of detail. Contrast paints are a little splotchy.
Right.
Do something to kind of even that out. Whoa, yeah, the broom is is toned. Yeah, everything is just getting some flats and a wash for tonight. I don't have my wet palette or anything set up, so I can't mix or blend.
I see.
Yeah, so just kind of I spent more time actually getting the camera. Right. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, very Wallace and Gromit.
Right? Yeah, he's kind of got like the mean eyebrows though. There's something sinister about him.
Yes. That's true.
Yeah, it does remind me of some of like those old GW the old GW familiars and things.
Oh yeah.
You know, there's just those interesting little familiars.
Yeah.
Oh, right, cool. Got those people coming along. Yeah, I'm doing the slow process of just. I'm not going to finish any of these models, obviously, but I'm just going to do the slow process of building up layers. I've got to do the gold NMM as well across these models. That's kind of fun. I kind of enjoy doing gold NMM over silver NMM.
Oh yeah.
Silver's really hard to do.
Yeah.
Really hard.
Interesting.
I find just because most of the time you're playing around with monochromatic colors.
Yeah.
And it just looks off whenever I do it like that. So I kind of switched that to like bringing in turquoise instead. Kind of look. I found that worked better for me because I'm working with some color.
Right.
Gold works with me because I'm working with browns and yellows and things, and that is color. But whenever I do just plain silver, that one's a really hard one. I find that one super difficult to do NMM for. So I'm just like wondering, is there a color I should be bringing into it just a little bit, just to give a hint, and things. So still while I experiment. Well, I'm really enjoying this. This is really nice to be doing it with somebody.
Oh yeah, not in isolation. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've got a ton of board game minis that I could.
I'm having a good time with this.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, Chris and I went in together on the Monster Hunter board game that's coming out with all the giant monster minis. So that's going to be that's going to be a lot of work. But it's nice because you're only
how big are the models?
they're probably like the human scale is probably about 32 millimeter. So yeah, they get pretty huge. Like the big like elder dragons and stuff are pretty gigantic. So yeah, and they did some nice variations and stuff on them. So yeah, we'll have but it's nice because the way you play it is we'll just have to paint our character and then the monster that we're facing. So we can do like a big model, a week or whatever.
Right.
It'll be.
So you can just kind of get one done and move on.
So we'll see.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So that should start shipping sometime. Who knows? Everything has been so delayed recently.
Yeah, that's really good. Right. It's hard to tell with the Kickstarters and things. Yeah. And so yeah, I mean, I'm kind of like Tag Raid's a bit similar because it's got like the Mega Beasts.
Oh, right.
And so that plays a little bit in a similar fashion, I'd imagine, because it's got those Mega Beasts are really, really big as well. Like so, I've still got the Megalodon to paint from Defiance, which is like the big model. But I still got to. When Tag Raid comes, it comes with even bigger models. So it comes with a store worm, I think it's called. And that one's pretty big.
Oh no!
And then I'm also getting that massive dragon as well, and the dragon is super big, and it's just like such a cool looking dragon, kind of like a dragon with a predator face, I think.
Oh, nice.
With the kind of that split jaw opening out.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Oh, cool.
It looks pretty cool. So that's going to be fun to paint. And I think I'm going to use that as an excuse to experiment with all my Liquitex inks and just kind of go a bit spray happy with getting some stuff down. I'm going to try and watch some... God damn it, what's his name? Oh, God damn it, what's his name? There's... who paints incredibly fast, but with incredible contrast and color. And his name has gone straight out my head.
Oh no!
God damn it! Who is he? Oh well. Anyway, he's really amazing, and like he did a dragon and things, and he used a lot of Liquitex colors and just sprayed them on, kind of thing. And so I'm gonna maybe try and copy him. He does a lot of oil paints as well, though. He uses a lot of oil paints. He's one of the ones who really pushed Marco Frizzoni, I think his name is. And he's one of the ones who really pushed the oil painting, and I think he's one of the ones who really started that boom at the moment, where a lot of people are using oil paints.
Nice.
For miniature painting again.
Right. Well, that's cool.
Because you can just do some really cool stuff with it. You basically kind of do like reverse shading, or like kind of. You basically have the. You take the paint, take like a dark oil paint, and you paint with acrylics first, with all of the bright details, but you do none of the shading, and then you just slap this all over the model, and so the whole model goes dark, but then you just get the alcohol tipped Q-tip, and you just clean off all of the raised areas, and the acrylic paint stays on, but the all of the oil paint comes straight off.
Interesting, yeah.
And so you get instant contrast and like perfect shading,
right,
and things. It works so well, and it looks so good.
Yeah.
At least, well, he does it so well.
Right.
So I'm sure I'd have a go and make it a complete dog's dinner out of it.
Right.
But
wow. Yeah.
But I think that would be kind of fun. So it's like, oh, okay, do I invest in getting some oil paints? But then when you get into oil paints, then you got your methylated spirits that
right
you need, and probably need separate brushes and how to clean them and things. And then I'm like, I'm not sure if I'm that keen.
Yeah, that's true.
Like I like to be able to just get my paint out and just start painting, and then when I'm finished, just pack it up and go. There's like, I'm too busy for long setups.
Right.
Generally, not these days. These days has been quite good because I haven't had to do anything. But generally, I'm quite busy, so it's kind of hard to get the painting done.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll probably have to come to a close soon.
Okay.
As what time is it here? We're now 12:15, aren't we?
Yeah.
So maybe half past.
Okay.
We can call it a night.
That works.
So have 15 more minutes, and then it's like we've done a good 3 hours.
Nice.
Yeah, this is nice to get models done, have a good chat.
Oh, he's wearing a ring. Wow, that's crazy. Look at that detail. He's got a ring on his pinky finger. My little Gandalf ripoff, Gandalf clone. He's got that's a great little detail. I just noticed that on his hand. Maybe I wouldn't even have seen it, even primed. It's hard to see. It's funny.
Yeah. I've been like zenithal priming quite a lot of models, and it's amazing how much detail just
Oh yeah.
becomes much more obvious to you when you do that.
Yeah.
I didn't zenithal prime these guys because they kind of have a black base, but it does help with some other models just to be able to. Oh my god, I missed a bit. I got metals showing through.
Oh no.
Did a very bad job on the priming there. Over you.
Yeah, I hate that when the my 3D printed models of the photo resin, if you miss any part of the primer, paint does not stick to that resin at all. So yeah, the priming is very very important. So
yeah, the metals are kind of the same.
Yeah,
isn't
right.
it?
That's right. Yeah.
You don't have it primed, it's pretty bad. I've been experimenting with priming with colors rather than blacks and whites.
Interesting. Yeah.
And that's worked really well for me.
Oh, that's cool.
So, what was it? The mentor, this guy. So yeah, the mentor, this guy. I based him in a dark brown, and that kind of gave me all my depth straight there. And because it's also got color, it just helped boost the contrasts and things, and just the interest I think in the model just went up because it's not just black undercoating. There's color coming through.
Right.
It's not monochromatic, and that really helped create kind of like a warmer color scheme to pop through. That was good. I remember messing around with the what's it called? It's where you mix in, like you have one base color for your entire miniature, and you always mix in some of that color into all the other colors that you're doing. Forget it's a painting technique that you usually have, like with like a lot of oil painters and things. I forget what it's called. Not natural color, or I can't remember. But anyway, it basically is this color that will tie the whole model or the whole painting together, because every single color has an element of that color in it, mixed in, and it really works because it just ties everything up together really nicely. So it's a really good technique to learn about. I forget. I remember Ninjon did a video on it. I don't know if you've ever seen his videos.
Yeah, I have.
But he did one about it, and I was like, I'll give that a go, and it turned out pretty well. I think I did it for one of my Aristea models. I think it was Moonchild.
Nice.
Okay.
There's a little rosacea on the apprentice. So he must have a bottle somewhere in that bag of books. I have to pull that out a little more. Yeah, yeah. Wow.
Let's have a quick looky.
All right. Yeah, a couple of the magnets on these bases have kind of weakened. I wonder what that is. It may just be cheap Chinese rare earth metal, rare earth magnets. But that's weird. A couple of them have demagnetized because I rely on that a lot for storing miniatures. It's not so great with with metal. You know, metal, they're a little too heavy for most magnets. But for plastic, it's really good because you can basically hang them upside down and they're fine.
Yeah. That's how I carry my Aristea models. I just got like the like the sheet of the magnet sheets, and then just cut out a circle and stuck it to the base of the model, and then I just have some magnets in a little pack, and I just plink them in there. And it also doubles up because I also made a bunch of colored hexes as well, and so they just magnetize to the hexes, so you know which team your models are in. So I've got like these orange hexes and green hexes, and so it just helps visually for someone watching the game. Like, like when you're playing, you know which models you have,
right?
But someone just kind of watching Aristea, like you'd be like, whose models are whose? Is that your team or his team? Kind of thing. It's hard to follow in that sense. But if you can make that visual reference easier, I think Aristea is one of those games which is like really spectator friendly. If you can make it easy to follow, and I think that's the thing that you need, is to make it very clear which player is on which team. Right.
That's a good idea. Yeah, and Aristea looks so nice on the board because there's such a nice variety of characters, and the board itself is very colorful and interesting visually. So yeah, that's cool.
Right, and the game is so replayable because the sheer number of combinations of characters that you can have is kind of mind-boggling. Kind of every different type of combination of characters is crazy.
Nice.
But yeah, cool. All right.
Oh, good stuff. Yeah, so I got to start on 4 of these guys. That'll be nice. I can. There's only 9 altogether. So next week we'll.
Oh right, that's not too bad.
Well,
yeah, I feel like these 4 guys are going to take me through.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be fiddling with them for ages. Oh, crikey. I can never seem to quite highlight the boobs on characters. Can never quite get it right.
Yeah.
Probably get some Kingdom Death models to practice.
Oh, there you
on.
go. There you go. Yeah, right. Everything's got cleavage in that game.
Oh my god, there's nuts. It really is. I see some amazing paint jobs of people that do them. And it's funny actually, like I'm always quite surprised actually, a lot of the ones that I see on Instagram, they're actually by girls. Like female painters do a lot of like the Kingdom Death stuff, and it's like
interesting.
It's it's obviously like it's kind of not expected, I guess, is what I'll say.
Yeah. But also too, then they don't get the pervert tag as easily as someone that some guy
as a weebo
right
buying the models. I'd be a bit like, what am I doing?
Right.
Oh, one of them. I did get a chance to paint a really nice resin model from the what was the Kickstarter? It was like this. They were basically making model forms of this famous artist's pieces of work, and his very otherworldly work. It was really, really crazy. And someone from my workplace basically had got the Kickstarter, but wasn't confident to paint it.
Oh.
They asked me if I wanted to do it, so I did, and I made a video on that one, where I painted this this kind of 75 millimeter scale character, and it's just it's basically like this woman, almost naked, not quite, but she's kind of got like 8 arms coming out the top.
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember
of her in random pieces, and she has like this kind of deer's skull on her head. That was really fun to paint.
Oh, nice.
Really, really fun to paint. And so it is fun to paint kind of, I'd say, the female form. I'm just not sure if I would really be comfortable doing a Kingdom Death one. Where it's like a little, like, very unrealistic kind of proportions.
Yeah, that's true. Things. That's true.
But I do like those kind of large scale models, kind of artistic models. I like those. So I would love to paint more of those, but they are expensive.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, they're a lot more material, and especially big resin.
So it's like I can't, and especially in Japan,
Yes.
they have some in Volks, but they can get pretty expensive, like Ichiman, and for a model and things, and I'm just like I can't. Like the model's lovely, but I can't.
Yeah, it's hard to justify.
I cannot. Justify it. Yeah, if someone was like buying it and wanted me to paint it, I'd be like, yes, I'll do that for you, because it's just an excellent opportunity.
Yeah.
But buying it myself and then just having a display piece that I don't really can't play with and things, I'm just like, part of the whole thing with Infinity is that they're beautiful models and I get to use them after I paint them.
Right. Yeah, that's very true.
If I can find people to play with. Comes with a big caveat, that one.
Right. Hey, I'm always around, so you'll always get some use.
Yeah, well, I have to get you up to speed in 4, and we can play with a full range then.
Oh yeah, that would be good.
And then yeah. I mean, now I've actually got, once I finish painting up all of my JSA, I'll have like a full JSA force I can make a number of different armies out of.
Oh, nice.
I'll also I got a few more Yu Ching to paint, and then I've got pretty much an ISS force that's ready to go. I wouldn't mind getting maybe a couple of some of the Wu Ming and things, but generally it'll be ready to go. And then also I've just got a few more assassins to paint, and that army is pretty much good to go with a lot of choices as well. Oh, nice. So I've kind of got all the models. I just got to paint, and then Tag Raid comes eventually.
Nice.
And I really want to. I really want to paint up the 4 tags as fast as possible for that. As well as possible, but as fast as possible, along with the worms, so I can just play the basic game as soon as possible. Maybe try and take it along to, maybe even just try it at Jig, because it's kind of a gateway drug into Infinity.
Yeah,
game.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Maybe find some people, because I have, like, in the past we used to go there and there was some people that would do miniature games and things.
Yeah, I haven't seen like the photos they post.
It was a good way of meeting people.
Right. No, it's true. Yeah, the photos they post recently, I haven't seen much as far as miniature games. There's one game, I'm going to blank on the name, but it's kind of a MOBA. It's a board game, kind of MOBA style board game that's getting kind of popular.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. It's
yeah.
got a lot of
I
miniatures. Yeah.
saw some pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jules is really into
The other
that.
thing as well is if I don't know how many of them are painters, but
Mm.
I would love to do a commission.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, that I think
If I could, yeah.
that's possible. You should actually put a post on you should post on Jig and say anyone wants their board game painted or whatever. Yeah, I'm available, and then send them to your Instagram. I think you'd get some business definitely.
Yeah, maybe I should try.
Yeah, that'd definitely be worth it.
Yeah, I feel like I'm hitting that point in my painting where it's like, okay, I think it's probably like I can do a commission justice, like just a simple commission justice.
Nice.
I was always worried that I'm not good enough, and then I've started looking at some people's commissions and going, "Oh, I actually paint better than them.
Yeah, right.
How are they doing? How are they doing commissions? How?"
Very cheaply, I imagine. Yeah, for a very good price.
I hope so.
Right.
Yeah, I would hope so. Oh, but yeah, but that would be kind of nice if I could do a couple of commissions. That would be a really nice thing on the side, and it would kind of give me an excuse to paint as well.
That's true.
And it also, if they're okay with it, I would love to make a video out of it as well.
No, that'd be great. Yeah,
it kind of
content and commission work would
works
be
hand in hand that way.
perfect. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, okay. I might have to try and get in touch with the Jig people again and start talking to them. I actually nailed this face. I'm really happy.
Good.
I'm just looking at it and going, I actually nailed this face. I'm like, oh my god, that worked out pretty damn well. The eye needs a reworking, but the skin tone has worked out really nicely.
Oh, good.
I should keep a diary for paint mixes. I never do.
Yeah,
and
that's really
it ends up biting me.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, this is my skin tone mix, or this is a skin tone mix. I got to remember that. I got to mix in a little bit of cold flesh with Bugman's, and that is my base, not Bugman's itself.
Right.
That's what gives it its depth.
Nice.
Without being, and also knocks out a bit of that red.
Yeah.
And push it more towards the brown, and it works actually quite well, and gives it almost a bit of it's very slight blue tint, which gives you the shadows, very natural shadows. Oh, that's good. Oh, I'm happy about that. That was my discovery today. That's good. All right. I think right there though, I'm gonna have to call it a night. We're at 12:30.
Oh, okay.
We've done a good 3-hour session.
Yeah.
That was great. But yeah. Thank you for all the people that joined, and definitely those who chatted as well. If any of you are still there, I really enjoyed this. This was fun. So hopefully we can try and do this as often as possible on a Saturday around this time. I think that would be really good. I do have a weekend coming up, perhaps in September, where I'm going to be out and things. But any Saturdays that we are free, I would love to do this. This is great.
Yeah, I agree.
Thank you, everybody, and I'm gonna sign off now.
All right.
So, thank you very much.
All right. Good night, Nick.
Good night.
All right.
Right, there we go. I've gone to my waiting screen.
Oh, here, let me...
and I can just end my stream there then.
There we go. Okay, I muted you, so I think it's just me on the stream. Yeah, I muted the Discord. There we go. Great. Oh, Unknown Girl, thanks. Yeah, I really love these... I really love these miniatures. The look, they're very old school. So these are recent sculpts, but they're imitating kind of the 80s 80s and 90s look of old role play miniatures. So yeah, I love supporting this company, and they still keep a lot of really old stuff in print. Anything that they worked on that they still have the molds for, or maybe the masters for, they still keep printing them. So yeah, very fun. All right, yeah, that was really great. I'm glad. I'm glad we figured out, yeah, how to do that. I was worried I wasn't going to get your audio on there. Mm-mm-mm. Very good. Good stuff. Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Take care, Nick. Have a good night. Okay. Okay. Bye bye. All right. So let's see here. Oh, let me close Discord. Oh, I finally figured out how to get Discord audio on the stream. So how was the audio quality too? So that was a Discord call that I just put Nick through on. So was it distorted or anything? Oh, thanks. Yeah, the colors. I don't have a huge variety of colors, so I wanted to do stuff that looked a little medieval, and it goes on pretty bright, and then I can kind of tone it down with washes and dry brushes and stuff. But yeah, I like how his blush turned out okay too. I'll do a little more of that, but he looks a little sunburnt or drunk. So one of that. Well, thanks, Unknown Girl. Yeah, it's really fun. I don't go into as much detail and depth in painting as Nick does. So Nick's got great tutorials because he really goes through his process and explains a lot of stuff. But I just do it because it's fun, and I like to have colorful things on the table instead of just bare metal or gray plastic. Yeah, it's very fun. Oh, good. I'm glad the sound was good. Yeah, so I guess I figured out the setup. I was worried. I didn't have much of my paint setup ready because I was fussing with the audio and the setup so much. But I'm glad it worked. Very good. Yeah, so maybe I'll be on more often if yeah, Nick and I paint, because I've got a lot of board games and things that I'd really like to get painted. So this would be a good excuse to just kind of sit and talk and go through a bunch of crazy miniatures. I don't know where to start though. Oof, lots of stuff. But yeah, and the camera zoomed in enough that you could kind of see what's going on. I still don't know where the focal depth is. I think it's about there. So I just got to keep my hand about that level. But very good. So thanks everyone for watching and who was joining. I just got notification from Restream. They're going to cut down my number of sources to 2 unless I start paying them. So the free version now is going to be much more limited. So I have to figure out what to do, because I like having it on Facebook because people find me a lot, but I need to definitely do at least YouTube and Twitch. So yikes, I was, thought it was I had so much choice, and I was trying to find a fourth platform, but I guess it's not going to happen. So we'll figure that out. We've got 5 days, 8 hours, 22 minutes, and 5 seconds to decide. So obnoxious. Sounds like a cash grab. But okay, so I guess I'll call it a night as well. It's after midnight, and yeah, I got more gaming tomorrow, so I'll go into the city and do some more gaming. So everybody, take care and have a good rest of your morning or good afternoon or good evening. So Unknown Girl must be up late with me as well. There's not much of a time difference. But yeah, so I'll see you. So this is Upturn Table, so upturntable.com, and the channel. So this will be backed up on Twitch and YouTube, and you can also see me drawing my weekly cartoon on Abusecartoons on YouTube and Twitch, and abusecartoons.com for that cartoon. And Domestic Abuse is the name of the cartoon. GoComics.com/domestic abuse. And yeah, and Upturned Table on all social media, and Zombie Sashimi if you want to see what else Nick is doing. So, all right. Oh, right. Excellent. Oh, good. So good night, sweet dreams, unknown girl, and I hope to see you again soon. All right. So take care, everyone, and see you next time. Goodbye.